my name is Meg. For anyone who's new to the channel, I make videos about eating disorder recovery, and I'm recovering myself from an anorexia relapse at the moment. For the last nearly 2 years now, I've been receiving cognitive behavioural therapy enhanced, CBTE, from an incredible psychologist, and I've gotten so much better from it. And I've actually been ill for like 17 years now, and this is the best treatment I have ever had. So I just try to use these videos to like share bits and bobs that I learn and yeah, things that help me. Oh my god, I just caught my phone. I got an eye infection at the beginning of the week, which was horrible. So yeah, I've been glasses up for the week. My husband's actually from Scotland and he calls them glecks, but I posted it on my Instagram story earlier in the week and loads of Scottish people wrote back to me like, I have never heard of that before. So I think that might actually just be a Brendan thing. Anyway, we were back in the UK over the summer for a few weeks and we've just got back to Dubai. Oh my God. So whilst we were at home, we went for like a family walk one morning, and then we walked past a cafe on the way home and everyone just stopped and got a cup of tea and a slice of cake. I will happily eat cake as like an afternoon snack, as dessert in the evening, doesn't bother me at all. But there was something about having it in the morning that freaked me out. And my head was literally going crazy with thoughts of like, what I'd have for breakfast, it's too many calories, I'm gonna have to miss something out of my lunch, it's too close to lunchtime, blah, 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 blah. Which is mental because that's so something I wanna be able to do in life, like just stop at a cafe and grab a slice of cake with other people joining in, like that sounds perfect to me until I come to do it. And then it's a totally different story. But anyway, I did it. I got a slice of apple and strawberry cake and then swapped a little corner for somebody else's ginger cake. But anyway, I did it, whatever the reason, like even if it was completely inadvertent and accidental, I did it. So then the next week, I met a friend in Edinburgh. She's actually a friend through Instagram and she also wanted to challenge, came for a slice of cake. So we had a morning brownie this time. It was like a Biscoff brownie. Again, it was incredible. And it was already easier the second time I did it. I think because I'd already done it once and like nothing bad happened, and yeah, I just wasn't as anxious the second time. But I don't just want it to have been like a 2-time challenge and never do it again, because the point of doing it is so that I'm able to do it. So like if a friend ever suggests let's go and meet for a coffee and a cake, I can actually do it and not do it with a shit ton of anxiety, or do it but starve myself around it to make it okay. Like, no, I don't think people should do that. I think cake is just cake. You can have it in the morning. It's just some weird rule and fear in my head that says that I can't, so.
Rising up like phoenixes, been tired of pushed down the ground. Speaking my heart like it really is, 'cause I can't take another no. I see, I like, I go, I get, no one can hold me back. I see, I like, I go, I get, go, I get.
It wasn't quite as bad as I expected, but I actually feel so sick after that. My taste has changed so much in recovery with like weight gain and eating foods regularly. Like at the start of my recovery, I could have smashed like 8 of those. Wouldn't have touched the sides, I probably still would have wanted more. And then halfway through that, I was like, oh my God, this is actually so sickly. I feel like my body's just not craving sugar and sweet and cake and stodge. And like at the start of recovery, if I could have substituted all my meals for cakes and chocolate, I literally would have done. And now, no, I would be like, no, I just want a sandwich. Like I want something savory. I've had a few people ask me before, like, why do I keep eating if I feel sick? And just where I am now, even though I'm a healthy weight, like I've still got too much anorexia in my head, to be honest. Like say I did go for cake with a friend, I don't want to then think, oh well, last time when you're on your own you left a little bit, so this time you've got to leave a little bit. It's kind of just easier for me just to always eat everything on my plate as a rule, and then it doesn't give like leeway for little thoughts to creep in. And hopefully one day I'll be able to like listen to my body and what have you, but whilst I've still got shit going on upstairs, like I'm just not there yet. I've also had a couple of comments recently where people have said like, by acknowledging how scary something is, or saying that I feel anxious or this is scary, whatever, that I'm telling my brain that it's scary, and then I'm not actually rewiring my brain. And I used to think this as well, like even when I was in hospital, they used to teach us to actively challenge all of our thoughts, which just felt fucking batshit mental to me, because how do I challenge something that I believe is true? I literally felt like I could see that the sky is blue, somebody else was telling me that it's green, and then they're like, now go and challenge your thought that it's blue and tell yourself that it's green. And obviously I don't think you should just give in to all your thoughts and be like, oh yes, calories are bad, blah blah blah. But like, I've also had the experience of when I do challenge my thoughts, there's always another thought that pops up. So say like during weight gain, I would think to myself like, that's going to make you gain weight, and then I think, oh good, I actually need to gain weight. And then I'd get another thought, oh, but you've already gained weight this week, so you don't need to have it now. And then I'd argue that away like, no, I haven't. And then I'd get another thought like, oh, well, you're going out for dinner tonight, there's going to be more calories, so you need to miss calories now to make up for it, and you'll still gain weight. It was just an endless freaking cycle of like thought bombardment. And it was like anorexia would just keep having a go until it landed a thought that was believable enough for me. And then I'd be like, ah, you're right, I shouldn't eat this. And what my psychologist has taught me now as part of the CBTE that I get is that it's actually about actions, rewiring your brain, and it's like what does she call it? Behavioural adjustment or something like that. But she tells me to monitor my thoughts and like recognise when I'm getting eating disorder thoughts. That's my DVD playing, like my eating disorder mindset. I've done a video on your eating disorder DVD, like I'll link it below. But she teaches me to basically block the thoughts when they come and eject the DVD through opposite actions. So whatever my head's telling me to do, just do the opposite. And to be honest, it might feel totally shit, like you're facing a fear, it is shit scary. And then she tells me to distract myself and basically wait for the thoughts to pass on their own. Like I don't need to step in and quick fix it with anorexia. And then over time it'll get easier, and like the more and more I face something, the less scary it'll be, the less anxious that I'll feel. That pretzel today was so much easier than the first time we had cake in the morning. And I still think it's probably going to be a bit difficult at lunch because I'm going to want to compensate for the calories. But I kind of know through doing this with other things, like as long as I don't compensate, then when I do it again and then don't compensate and then do it again and then don't compensate, like with time it's just, you're like, oh, okay, it's just cake in the morning. This is our sofa situation at the moment. We've had to send it back to get the corner like re-sprung or something. I don't know. Let's see. Bren and I are going to go to the pool now. Bit of distraction. He actually got up really late and I don't even think he's had breakfast yet. Kind of playing on my mind a bit that like I've had breakfast and a big snack and then we'll have lunch together, so I'll have had more than him. I'm trying to literally just say to myself like, different bodies, different paths. Like my body does not gain weight based on what his body eats or doesn't eat. Okay, pool. That almost worked so well. So we're just back from the pool. I actually lay in the water, so my hair has gone absolutely crazy. Brendan's popped out to get bits for lunch because he lost a game of fives that we played, and I am warming up the toasty maker. And Brendan actually just had a cereal bar for breakfast in the end. Like, he just isn't massive on breakfast, but my body's not going to gain weight because he's not eating breakfast. He's back, he's got wraps, mozzarella, bagels for my breakfast. No, it's all right. We've got the spicy one that's full mayo. Shall I just have that?
Do you see it's too spicy for you?
It is quite spicy, but maybe...
It's not that bad.
I had it in my lunch this week and it was quite spicy. I think we should just chuck the light mayonnaise out, to be honest. Okay, and mayonnaise. Onto the sofa. So I've just been to the shop to pick up some bits for lunch. Got some Farmhouse White, lush, and ham, which you can't even see, avocado, and then 2 mayos because we get through them really quickly at the moment. We have it every single day. And I'm going to do a little taste test to see what the difference is between Heinz and Hellmann's. And I also went to Starbucks to edit this video and I got an iced mocha. I don't want this video to come across as me saying I never challenge my thoughts, because like, obviously that's not true. And even yesterday you could see like I ate more than Bren, and I do try and like rationalize it in my head. So like today, for example, we're meeting some friends tonight for a roast dinner, and I went out with a couple of my mates last night for drinks and dinner, and we ended up having slightly more drinks than we'd anticipated. And then I came home and ate a load of chocolate because I was still kind of hungry and I just wanted something sweet. And then this morning I've woken up with like the inevitable little niggly thoughts of like, now you need to miss something today to make up for it, like don't go and get those bits for lunch, don't have a coffee, whatever it is. And I do try and challenge them. Like I'll say to myself like, no, food doesn't need to be balanced out by me. My body's not a robot. It's not a calculator. I don't think people should go out for spontaneous drinks and then starve themselves the next day to make up for it. Like, that's actually fucking mental. So I say this stuff to myself, but like, I still do have those thoughts in my head. And this is where my psychologist has kind of taught me that just because I get a thought doesn't mean I need to act on it. Like, opposite actions, eject the eating disorder DVD, eat a proper lunch, don't compensate, because that's just going to enforce that eating disorder belief in my brain that that's what I need to do. So yeah, I don't know, like honestly, I'm not an expert, I'm not a psychologist or anything, and really there's no reason why anyone should listen to anything I say at all. I don't know, I just know from my experience, like I spent years and years and years trying to almost think myself out of my eating disorder, or have so much insight or so much motivation that one day I'll just wake up and won't do that shit anymore. It's literally like I want to be able to think myself better, like I'll recover when this, or if I don't think this, or once I'm not scared of this. And then in the last couple of years, like with my psychologist's help, I've just done it anyway. Like whatever thoughts I'm getting, however shitty I feel, however right it feels to compensate and to miss calories and to choose the lowest option, whatever it is. Yeah, she's really taught me like just because I get the thought doesn't mean I need to act on it. Eject the DVD, opposite actions, feel shit and do it anyway. Yeah, feeling shit doesn't last forever, but your eating disorder does. Like when you get an automatic eating disorder thought, you've basically got two options, like act on it or don't act on it. And if you don't act on it, you may well feel a bit shit in the short term, but feeling shit doesn't last forever, like that will pass. Whereas if you give in to your eating disorder thought, you might feel a bit better short term, but long term you're still stuck with your eating disorder. So like I said, I'm really not an expert at all. This is just, I don't know, me sharing my experience, I guess. Anyway, I feel like I'm waffling on far too much now, so lots of love to everyone, and I'll speak to you soon.